Good morning, everybody. How's everybody on this wonderful Sunday morning? I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had, so far a pretty good weekend. I know I have. Been a little busy, but rain kind of messed things up a little bit yesterday, but managed to get through and get some things done anyway. So, wanted to get on here really quick and talk about a little bit about these two cranks here and the harmonic balancers that go with the cranks. Now, I'm a lot of you that are following me on my YouTube channel and everything, and follow me all over the place, like when I post my videos on YouTube or wherever I post them at. You remember me doing the actual weigh in on the BPO5 crank. I did the weigh-in on a BPO5 crank. Well, the first weigh-in I did, it was in the actual case, and there was something, it was like a service valve cap for air conditioning system up underneath the scale, so it wasn't getting an accurate reading. So I pulled the scale out and I re-weighed it, and it actually ended up being probably about 8 pounds difference. But so I told y'all in that video that I wish I had the BPO1 crankshaft to weigh along with the BPO5, and now I have that. I can actually do a comparison of the two, what the differences are, what the difference in weight is, all that stuff. So also I brought the harmonic balancers in here because I found something interesting between these two harmonic balancers, and I don't know if anybody knew or not, but I'm going to share it. So So the goal here today is to weigh these two crankshafts. So to pretty much, we're going to do a truce here, because a lot of people say it's 8 pounds lighter, it's 7 pounds lighter, it's 6 pounds lighter. It's, however much lighter the BPO1 crankshaft is from the BPO5. So, well, first things first. So what we're going to do, as all you know, this is a cast crank. So that's how you tell a cast crank from a forged crank. The cast crank is always going to have a small pencil line on the casting mark, and your forged crank is always going to have a wide casting mark. See how wide that mark is on the forged crank? Now this is the BPO5 crankshaft, and this is the BPO1 crankshaft. But like I say, you notice it's got the little small line right there, the little tiny line, that indicates that's cast. This is forged. So I wanted to get that out the way really quick, because I know a lot of people get confused on how you tell a cast crank from a forged crank and vice versa. So that's how you tell. Always pay attention to your casting line right here on your counterweights, and that'll tell you. So remember, wide means forged, skinny means cast. So all right, so we got a CPS refrigerant scale here. This is what I use to weigh refrigerant when I'm putting refrigerant in a system, in an AC system. Very nice scale, not cheap at all, very accurate. So if anybody's wondering what the part number is, and that's the CPS CC220 Compute A Charge Scale. If you want to use this scale to weigh stuff, you can. You don't have to have it for refrigerant. I use it for a whole lot of stuff. So, because it's really accurate, and I like the way it works. And see, the cool part is you can actually switch it. So you can actually have it to where when you put something on the scale, it weighs what it weighs. And also you can zero it out to where the refrigerant, the refrigerant tank, when it's sitting on there, it's at 0. But once you start putting refrigerant in the system, it'll actually start telling you, all right, 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds. So it's a really nice scale. I have 2 of these things. So, but let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this bad boy on. All right, make sure we're at 0. All right, so the first crankshaft we're going to weigh is going to be the BPO5. So let's see what this bad boy weighs. All right. 36 pounds, 1 ounce. All right, now we'll see what the BPO1 crankshaft weighs. 26 pounds, 7 3/4 ounces. So that's about a little over 10-pound difference. That's a lot when you're talking about rotational weight, you know, and rotating mass and stuff like that. That's a substantial difference. So you guys seen it for yourself. The BPO5 crankshaft weighs 36 pounds 1 ounce. The BPO1 crankshaft weighs 26 pounds and 7 3/4 ounces. So there's a difference. And I will also show you this. So the BPO5 crankshaft has 8 counterweights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Versus the BPO1 crank having 4 counterweights. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, also, there's always been the myth of if you get a crankshaft turned, it weakens it. That's incorrect. You know, a lot of your big V8 guys are taking 100 to 200,000s off a crankshaft to build stroker motors and stuff. And those things are north of 1,000 horsepower and twisting up 8,000 plus RPM. It's a lot of people keep saying, oh, hey man, that crank will break easy. I wouldn't take it past this power, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm gonna let y'all in on the secret. So these crankshafts, if they snap, they're going to snap upon poor oiling, poor balancing, you know, misalignment, any kind of friction, you know, like rods rubbing against the counterweight or any kind of friction that creates a lot of heat is the only thing that will snap a crankshaft. Because you got to look at it like this. Heat is what is used to make all these steel parts and stuff. So once you start getting close to the temperature where these parts were actually made at and broken down and made, then that's when failure will start, you know, that's when failure will start to take place. So the fear of everybody saying, oh, if you turn the crank and weaken it, oh, you know, this crankshaft's going to break if you go over this power. I can't say I've seen a crankshaft break under power. If you got a good tune, if you use, you know, if you got good bearing clearance, if you use good oil, you know, if you got, you know, if the motor is staying cool, it's happy, you could probably turn this thing up to, you know, 400 horsepower, you know. I've seen these cranks go, you know, north of 600. So, you know, it's all in how you tune your engine and how you build it. You know, if you don't build it right, you're going to have problems. You know, if you build it right and you got a good tune and good oiling system, good bearing clearance, these parts will live forever. So just wanted to get that out there real quick, you know, because I know like a lot of guys like, you can easily break a crank. No, you can't easily break a crank. And a lot of people always think that the counterweights is where the strong point is on the crank. It's not. That's not. This is your strong point. I'm sorry. They call these the pins. Not D pins, but the pins. They call these pins. So those are your main journals, right? That's what rides in the middle of the block. Those are your main journals. So, you know, these are your main journals. And this is the pin of the crankshaft. You know, this is the pin of the crank. So the strong point is actually not the counterweights, it's the actual pin, which is the main journals is the strong point of the crankshaft. So and another thing that people say is, well, when you knife edge a crank, that weakens it, or when you turn the crank, that weakens it. It does not. Taking these counterweights and knife edging them so they cut through oil is not going to hurt no crankshaft at all. I've got a knife edge crank in my 1.9 liter Escort, and it's been like that for over 13 years, and you had a problem out of it. And it's made consecutive pass after pass at low 13. So, but But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that. Just giving you a little bit of knowledge on cranks. You know, I'm not saying I know everything, but you know, just from my experience and what I've learned, what I've researched, and when I've talked to big racers and stuff, you know, yeah, that's where I get, you know, a lot of my knowledge and stuff from. So, but, and as long as you keep these two crankshafts here, as long as you keep the rotating assembly balanced, like every time you put a motor together, I recommend everybody to do a, you know, a rotating assembly balance, because that will save a lot of your parts. That will help a lot of your parts live a long life, and also it frees up horsepower. You know, a very smooth running engine will free up horsepower. A motor that's vibrating real bad, you're not going to get all the power out of it, and you're going to end up breaking more stuff. You know, you're going to end up breaking more stuff unnecessarily than you would, you know, than you would your parts actually last under power and stuff. So usually, you know, when you're making power, you always want to monitor your setup, make sure everything's good. You know, always check your oil, your transmission fluid, yeah, your coolant, everything. Make sure everything is good. That way it keeps things from failing. And like I say, if you pull a motor apart to rebuild it, hey, take a few $100s and go to the machine shop and say, hey man, take them your crankshaft, your flywheel, your harmonic balancer, a piston and a rod, and you know, pistons and rods, sorry, and they will balance it out, man. And I'm telling you, it makes a world of difference, because Donatello has been balanced, and you know, my red car has been balanced as well. I mean, they world of difference. All right, so so real quick, so I brought these harmonic balancers in too. Now that's a BPO1 harmonic balancer, and that's a BPO5 harmonic balancer. And I brought them in because just looking at them, this one looks like it could potentially be lighter than this crank pulley. So I just wanted to bring them in while I was, you know, kind of on the subject about crankshafts, and weigh the harmonic balancers as well. So let's see what these harmonic balancers weigh, what the difference is. Turn this bad boy back on again. All right, make sure it's zeroed out. All right, so we're going to start with the BPO5 harmonic balancer. We got 3 pounds, 10 3/4 ounces. All right, so let's grab the 01 harmonic balancer. Oh, it looks like it's 2 ounces lighter. Right around 2 ounces lighter. Yeah, 3 pounds, 8. Well, it's back and forth. 3 pounds, 8 3/4 ounce. Huh, so it is a little bit lighter. And I was curious because of, you know, the design of the pulley here. And look at this. This is just solid. So I was like, huh, I wonder if there's a weight difference. And it actually is. And see, it's like, that's why I like getting on here and doing little stuff like this, because a lot of people don't know, and it's a lot of guessing. I know they got forums out there from years ago that people that say, hey, this is that, this is that. Sometimes they're correct, sometimes they're not. It just depends, you know, what the situation is. And I just like to make this content that way people can just refer to my YouTube channel and look and see, hey, that cranks weigh this crankshaft weighs this, or this harmonic balancer weighs this, or you guys can message me and I can send you the YouTube video of whatever subject I was talking about or whatever came about. But I'm pretty sure there'll be a whole lot more content on little subjects like this as far as engine parts go and stuff like that. So, but yeah, definitely just wanted to get on here and, you know, shed some light on the crankshafts between a BPO5 crankshaft and a BPO1. Now, those that don't know what a BPO5 is and a BPO1 engine, the BPO1 engine is the engine that comes in the Mazda Protege from 90 to 94. It's a single overhead cam 1.8 liter. I believe it also came in the MX3 from, don't get me wrong in the years, maybe, I'm guessing somewhere, I want to say in the early 90s. I ain't gonna sit there and say, well, this year, because I can't quite remember with the MX3. But yeah, I believe the MX3 came with the 1.8 single overhead cam Mazda engine, and then the Mazda Protege came with the 1.8 single overhead cam Mazda engine from 90 to 94, and that was a DX model. Now, the BPO5 crankshaft came in various vehicles, a lot of vehicles. They came in 91 to 96, Escort GT, a 91 through 96 Escort LXE, a 91 through 96 Mercury Tracer LTS. They came in all of the NB Miatas, 1.8 NB Miatas had the 1.8 crankshaft, the BPO5 crank, except for, I think 98 was the last year for the NB on the Miata. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know 99, 2000 was the BP4W. It wasn't the 05 anymore. So, so yeah, Mazda Miatas also came with this crankshaft. 95 to 97, Kia Sophia came with this crankshaft. You know, all those cars had the, now this engine is actually the 1.8 liter dual overhead cam, and this is the 1.8 liter single overhead cam, both for Mazda motors. So just wanted to get on and shed some light on that. For those who watch my YouTube channel and don't quite know what a BPO1 is or what a BPO5 engine is that Mazda built. But I'm sure all the Escort guys are going to know, all the Mazda Protege guys are going to know. So, but just figured I'd get on right quick, guys, and shed some light on this subject. And been glad I was able to find this crankshaft. And it's funny because when I walked the junkyard, and I actually did a video on the actual Mazda Protege that this crankshaft came out of. So I was just walking the junkyard one day looking for stuff and not really looking, just seeing what was out there, and ended up finding a few things. And you know, I seen a Mazda Protege there, but I seen it there before. I totally forgot about it. And then I turned around and I was walking the aisles and I was like, hey, that Mazda Protege is still here. And I had been debating on getting that crankshaft because a lot of people were saying, hey man, I wish you could have had those cranks side by side so we could actually see what the difference is and you know, the weight and all that. So that's another purpose of this video, because people were asking me about that. So I'm glad I was able to grab this crank. But finishing back to my story. So when I was walking the junkyard and I seen the Mazda Protege sitting there, and somebody had pulled the automatic transmission out of it and pulled the motor as well. And I was like, shit. I was like, Dad, that'll be easy to do. So, you know, I just flipped the engine over and, you know, took the crankshaft out, and you know, I said, well, now I got a BPO1 crankshaft to do comparisons. Not that I will ever use this crank, but you know, I just wanted to get it to basically do this video with it. And I think it's pretty cool that I was actually able to have both crankshafts here at the same time now. So, so any of you that have watched the other two crankshaft videos that I've posted, hey, I don't know, I might, you know, I'll just leave them all up. I was just going to take them off, but I'll probably just leave them up. That way everybody can just, you know, see the videos anyway. But might learn something from all three, you know, might pick up on something from all three videos, you know, and you may learn something. Hey, who knows? You never know, man. Like 3 different videos will show you, you know, teach you 3 different things. You might catch something on one video you didn't catch on the other, or vice versa. So I try to do the best content I can, do the best explanations that I can, very detailed as I can, so that way everybody understands what's going on. So thanks guys for tuning in. I really appreciate everybody that's been following me and that's been watching my videos. Appreciate the love and the support. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it. You just don't understand how much that means to me. So, but oh, one more thing, almost forgot. So check this out. This is another thing that I noticed. So the BPO5 crank, if you look on the back, it's just smooth, right? No balance marks, nothing. So then I looked at the 01 crank. Look at that. It's got balance marks. So which means that this crank pulley, harmonic balancer, has been balanced from the factory. This one has been balanced, and this one has not. So that could also explain why this has the solid pulley and this has the pulley with the holes in it. So yeah, those are your balance marks. Whenever you see any pulley with holes like that, like drill marks, those are balance marks. They actually balanced this from the factory, and that's where weight needed to be taken out to get us a true balance. And they drill it just like that. So if you see any pulley, crankshaft, anything that rotates with those marks, it has been balanced from the factory. Unlike this one has not been balanced at all. I mean, I can't say it hasn't been, but I mean, it might have balanced out, you know, without having to take anything off, but it's hard to say. But that one's definitely been balanced. And like I said, you look at your look at your crankshaft. Crankshaft's got those same marks, you know, and you know, it's been balanced from the factory, but does that mean just the crank's been balanced? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your flywheels will have drill marks in them, like indentations in them, that, you know, balanced indentations, but, you know, they could have been balanced all separate. So if they're balanced all separate, then it's not going to, you know, it's not going to benefit, that's not going to be an accurate rotating assembly balance if they've all been balanced separately. If you balance them all together, that's where it becomes effective. But they were, you know, from the factory, they just balanced the parts to, you know, get them to, you know, the best balance they can from the factory, and then they send it on. So in a lot of these cars, man, shoot, they ain't gonna take, like, especially an Escort, they ain't gonna take the time to try to balance one out, because the first thing they say is it's a Ford Escort. Ain't nobody gonna be going fast on one of these. But little did they know, years later, going fast in all of them, whether it be a first gen, second gen, third gen, don't matter. But just wanted to get on to share this with you guys. Again, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys can learn something from this video. If you got any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I'm on 4 sources of social media. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So just, you know what I'm saying, feel free to contact me if you have any questions about this particular video, you know, these pulleys or anything, you know, and I will answer them to the best of my abilities, and I will help you guys out as much as I can. So thank you guys for tuning in once again. I appreciate the love and the support. This is going to conclude this video. And like I said, I hope everybody learned something. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Sunday and a wonderful work week. So catch you guys later. And everyone have a blessed day. Oh, today, by the way, today is my sister's birthday. So wish her a happy birthday. So thanks, guys. I'm going to hop off here. And this is going to conclude this video. Thanks again for watching. And everyone have a wonderful and blessed day, rest of the Sunday, and a wonderful and blessed work week. Catch you later.